Hello, everybody. My name is Peyton, and I'm not a usual host for This Is Not What I Was Expecting, but I am the blog writer on staff, and I wanted to talk to everybody about a topic that I have coming up for our blog, which is Roblox. I was at a family reunion a couple weeks ago where I was talking to my 6-year-old niece, and she said that all she does is watch YouTube and play on Roblox. She doesn't have a favorite TV show. She doesn't have a favorite movie. She just likes YouTube and Roblox. So we will have a YouTube conversation and blog coming soon. It's kind of ironic. Maybe you are viewing us on YouTube. You can chat about some of the YouTube concerns you have below. But today we're going to start with Roblox. I gathered up Tracy, Amber, and Christina to chat a little bit about how their kids are using Roblox. And then I've got some maybe of like the top 5 concern areas I noticed parents talking about. And we could just talk about it if it's concerned you, if you have different stories about it. But hello, everybody.
Hi.
All right. Are all of your kids playing Roblox?
Yes. My grandson does, and my granddaughter does.
Are they talking about it a lot? It's a big thing. I don't know. My niece and my nephew just like could not stop talking about how great Roblox is and how many games are on Roblox, and we didn't have service, so like they couldn't get to Roblox. It was very
traumatic for them. They were dying.
It was very stressful. Yeah.
Mine like it because they play with their friends. Like they get really excited when they get like the username of somebody at school, or like they're at a party and they meet a new friend and then they like connect on Roblox. Like I think that's what they like. They like that part of it, like the social aspect.
Yeah, and then you can sit, I think it's easy too, because we have neighbors that come over. I have a 12-year-old son that plays it, and they can sit with their phones and play together. Like other times if he's by himself in the living room, you can hear him, like he'll like talk, because you can talk or and like ask for things, which I thought I'm like, who are you talking to? And because I'm like, I thought you had to type everything out, but you don't. Like he can just talk and say, can I exchange that or something? Like he plays so many different games. Then I have a 4-year-old, one of my close friends, I watch her and she knows Roblox. She asks for it. We were at the football game on Sunday and she's like, I want your phone. I need Roblox. And it's so funny. But then I'm like, you hear the stories, so you don't really know. And I'm like, well, I have it on my phone, but I don't know what my son plays. Like, so that's the thing.
It seems to be like this big, like open-ended world that like a lot of great things are happening and a lot of like not so great things are happening on, based on my research. And I agree with Chrissy that it felt more like a social media platform in my research than like, maybe not social media, but definitely very social, like people getting together with their classmates or different people. Excellent.
Yeah, I think it's comparable to Fortnite. That's what my son goes back and forth between those two. Yeah.
My boys like Fortnite, but I think Fortnite's like more violent. I don't know that the games they play on Roblox don't seem violent to me. There might be some, but I haven't seen them. They play like funny things, like they're like building houses and getting cars and that kind of stuff. Almost like at Farmville when it was like a thing in early Facebook times. That's Minecraft. Like what it makes me think of. Because Grace will be like, I'm digging my corn, and I'm like, what are you doing? Are you playing Farmville? Like, what's happening? But it's like, I guess, a world in Roblox where they can like have crops and things.
Yeah, when I was doing research for this, it was like it seems to be a never-ending list of games that like different kids have made, different programmers have made, and it seems to be like Roblox is like its own economy, it's its own society. Like there's a lot going on that app.
I'm dishing out Roblox money all the time.
Oh yes, I read a lot about Robux. A lot of like kids taking credit cards to get more Robux, and app stores having to be disconnected from the Robux.
Yeah, we've never had that happen, but they will. Like I'll be like, I'll give somebody $5 to do whatever this chore is, and they're like, no, just give us Robux.
I love that. It's a good motivator.
It's a waste of money, I think, but whatever.
Yeah. In my research, I kind of found, like I said, those top 5 concern areas. And the first one I found was like a lot of children dealing with cyberbullying on Roblox. Have any of you experienced like your child struggling with some sort of like bullying or hate speech on Roblox? Or not that you? No.
No. Fortnite, we've had that problem with for sure.
Excellent. Yes, I was reading that like some children were messaged in every single game. I have some like points later we could talk about where the different parental controls that you can turn on and off, but it seems like the kids are very tech savvy and they can get around the parental controls and everything like that. But I was reading that sometimes kids were getting cyberbullied, a lot of hate speech was popping up in different games. And like Amber said, and I think Chrissy said too, like encouraging your child to play shoulder to shoulder with you or with their friend kind of helps to like keep an eye on that. But if you guys aren't experiencing it, that is wonderful. What about online strangers and safety? I also was reading a lot of concerns about how this chat feature that Roblox has is wonderful at like connecting friends, but sometimes they're not friends. And I know we've talked previously about some apps being like kind of breeding grounds for predators that want, you know, access to trusting kids. Have you ever read anything or had any concerns about that on Roblox?
No, I mean, I feel like my son plays the Fortnite Roblox and you can get random people, but we have that conversation and I make sure, and I repeat it all the time. Now, I said, like, sometimes I'll come in and ask him who he's playing with. You can usually tell the voice, but you never really know who's on the other side. But I'm like, now remember, if they're asking you questions about where you live, anything personal, like, you immediately report them. I don't care who it is. So we do end up having that conversation probably almost every day with him because he does come home straight from school and we'll get on one of those things. And you're not always there to sit right next to him.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
your child, you know? So, I mean, that's really the only thing that I tend to do, but I have not seen anything and he hasn't brought anything to my attention yet.
That's what I was reading a lot about or hearing a lot about. And that's where my daughter came to me. And when I was hearing about it or seeing it, you know, on social media, like the articles or people coming up and saying on the TikToks, like they noticed that when they were sitting next to their child, that they noticed that something was happening in front of them. Like, who are you talking to? I don't know who that person is. That's when I approached it to my daughter. Like, have you heard this happening? So there is a lot that discussion starts coming up. And that's when I started doing that deep dive. Like, are you, you know, when I talk to my daughter, like, are you aware of this? Like, is this happening? Yeah. You know what I mean? And like you said, Amber, it's like, you aren't always there. Like, and I think in the chat, in the articles that I was reading too, it's like, obviously we try very hard to be the parents and monitoring things like that, but we're not there 24/7 and they're going to be, you know, doing roadblocks on their own, you know. But I did see that there was a lot of times that in the chat feature that there were people that were able to bypass that security measures, and even despite reporting people, that they were still able to get through, and even the people being reported were still back in these chats the next week, you know. And so that's just very concerning, you know. But I think that's everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was reading that like that conversation is kind of like the cornerstone of this issue, is that like parents are that frontline defense for their child and what they see in the internet, and you can't be there 24/7. So having that like open dialogue of them feeling comfortable to tell you when things feel uncomfortable, and you know, feeling comfortable to monitor them in a way that makes you feel comfortable, seems to be like the gist of Roblox safety, is like there should be that like open communication with you and your child. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Have you heard anything about like the scams on Roblox? I was reading a lot about like unsafe links and different things that like can pop up in games that could, you know, affect your device, or different, you know, things we hear about like the security training at work. Sometimes, you know, like a different email from the IT guy could be also happening on Roblox. Have you experienced anything like that?
I didn't hear anything about that.
No, this is new to me. So this is good.
Me too.
This is good.
Like, educate us, please, because I had no idea.
Yeah.
And that would be my luck, that they would download some kind of virus to like our Wi-Fi, and then
Yes.
our guy would be chasing us down, or whatever, the IT guy from work. He's always trying to trap me with those phishing emails. He'd be knocking on my front door.
Yeah.
Maybe we should try and do that to our kids then, you know what I mean? Like,
Yes, an
Yeah, the
efficient.
fake ones. We'll get Scott on the line. Be like, excuse me, sir, can you help us? We're trying to trap our children with a fake
Like
email.
10 Robux.
no. Oh.
I was reading a lot about things like they'll be like, get 5 Robux here, download this, do that. And it's just like another way that people could harm like your devices or your children online. And also that would probably feel very scary too for a kid if they started to realize that. So it's like another, could be anxiety inducing aspect of Roblox. But I'm happy to hear it's not so widespread, that it's not like happening.
It probably would not be surprising because like you ladies just said, I mean, they want those roadblock blocks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, I know that when I go to the store, my grandson's always asking me for the probably Fortnite bucks, or you know what I mean, anything to get the gaming money. So that would be very enticing.
Persuasive. I have read that Roblox is almost, it feels like an addiction of sorts to some kids. Like this, like they have to get more, they have to have more time on Roblox, and sort of this like addictive nature to constantly getting out the iPad, constantly needing more Roblox. Like, has anyone noticed that it's a bit obsessive at their house?
Yeah, I'll just say yes. Yes.
I was reading that like all over.
Yeah, he's on his phone a lot with it, Roblox. And it's like that was the number one thing. They don't want money anymore, these young kids. Yeah. They want the like gift cards for the Roblox and the bucks and the Fortnite, so that was a huge thing this summer with birthday parties too. So, but yeah, he will spend a while on it. Most of the time it's been his friend that we know, but there's other people that join. And so he definitely wants to get whatever it is, the most of whatever's available, have more than his friends, so it's like a competition still. Yeah, who
has the best house, who has the best car, or whatever. Yeah,
the racing, like whatever. Yeah.
I was reading, like I said, it feels like a whole economy on there. Like I was reading that there's like a fake job listings profile where they have to like get fake jobs, and then they're stressed about their fake jobs, and they have fake deadlines, and like if they don't meet the deadline, they're so stressed.
Yeah. Why would you want to do that? I was just talking about that this morning. Like I was not meant for this. I would never sign up to do it like for like the stress of a job for fun. Get out of here. I'm trying to find a way not to have to work.
Yeah. I was like, this looks like LinkedIn. Like I'm good on that.
Yeah.
Hard pass.
No. Don't sign me up for that. No.
Fake job. Get out of here.
Yeah, and then I saw that like this was also wading into like some exploitation where children were doing these fake jobs for like Robux, but like not really getting paid for their Robux. So like it seems to be there's like scammers scamming the fake job. Like it's just like this whole little like world that's got a lot going on. What about parental controls? How involved do you have your own accounts that you're watching? Did you do the parental controls once and move on? What is the level of parental controls? I did some research on parental controls. If anyone wants to hear what they recommend.
Yes.
I mean, I have some set, but I don't know how like useful they are. Like when I got AJ got Roblox when she was like in 1st grade or 2nd grade. She's in 8th grade now. And I set up like controls on there, like where they had to have like they couldn't play with random people, but I don't know how much that stuck.
Maybe I could attach the video below. I found this really helpful video from like a dad who goes through the settings that he sets for his own daughter. And they've got different things like there's like a scale of like how much content they're able to see. So like one is like fully unfiltered, and then one is like maybe they're like 2, and they like as you get older you can start to see more things. But there's like a scale like that. There is there's a way to turn off the voice thing completely that Amber was talking about. If you don't like that you're hearing voices, you can turn that off. The dad recommends that really helpful video. He always has his daughter like FaceTime the friend that she's playing with. So it's like off app and they're talking and he knows exactly who she's talking to because it's through their iCloud. And then they still feel like they're playing together and that it has that like social aspect. There's a pin that you can set that your child can't have access to, where you can go in and change the settings, and you can delete friends that you don't like or don't know. Not don't like.
I don't like that kid.
Like, nope. There's also private servers that you can use, so only friends can play together. You can choose who can chat, who can invite your child to different things. You can set different age restrictions. So maybe that would be a helpful video of like, just he goes exactly through, like, I click on this, and then I click on this, and I turn this setting off. But I thought, like, the kids are so smart, so like all of the parameters that you can put up while they don't know that pin seems helpful, because I feel like kids like know how to use phones when they come out.
Yeah.
When they just like come out, and so
Yeah.
And like with my son, he doesn't have his original account. Do you know what I mean? Like, he locks himself out all the time. So he's remaking his account all the time and just putting in a random birth date. He does it all on his own. He used to come to me, and I used to be able to do that. So now he has so many different accounts that I never even know like what. I would probably have to log into different accounts to do that, but I am going to check. But sometimes it is hard to look and find how to do all those parental controls. I mean, because it's been hard for me in the past, so I would definitely use that information too.
Yeah, I will absolutely link his video. And he talked a lot about how kids will do that all the time. They'll just like take emails and make accounts. Yeah. And one of his tips was to make sure that one of your emails, if you want, if your kid doesn't get locked out, could be the email for the account. So then you are able to see, like, if they are getting scammed or something, like the password reset comes through you. And then also then you're able to log in and change the settings as you see fit. So he had a lot of really great, helpful tips that I think are more on like the logistical side of like, turn this off, turn that on.
Yeah.
I really, really think that is such an amazing idea, and something that almost all of our parents should really think about doing. I know as a parent that has had a child that has had social media challenges and has had those warnings and been needing to have these things done. It's a really good thing to try to do. We have these warnings out there and these measures for reasons, because those scammers know that they're impressionable. And as these articles, like you said, Peyton, they're going to get to our kids some way. And when we block them, they're going to find a different way. Every single time some of these articles talk about, we block them one way and then they get it in a different other way. But Roblox is just one way. So I think trying to come up with these measures of security measures is really, really a good idea. And, it's just one other security measure that's not just on us as parents. That trying to be measuring, watching 24/7, because we can't. There's no way we can do it 24/7. But setting up that extra step would really be something that would be a great option.
Yeah, you all have to go to work so you can afford the Robux. So you can't watch.
100%. I'm just here for the Robux.
You all have to clock in.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, exactly like Tracy said, my 5th tip for our blog is going to be about keeping that conversation open. I think online safety is a bigger conversation than just Roblox, but this is like seems to be very timely. What do conversations like that look like in your guys' house? Is it frequent? Is it casual? Is it what's going on?
Yeah.
All the time?
I mean, go ahead, Tracy.
My daughter's 19. We still have this conversation because, it's a matter that we've had to have all the time. And since she's been young, online safety is nothing to take lightly. And, and I have a conversation with my oldest daughter about my grandkids, things happen online and they're out there. Predators are out there, and they do come through these chats, and they try to, impersonate people,
Mhm.
because our kids go online and they love these, games or Snapchat or things like that. So, I love the idea of making sure that you're talking to a person that seeing somebody, knowing that that's the person that you can see. Because if somebody's saying that they're 14, 15 and they're not,
Yeah.
then you can see that they're not. So I think having that conversation on a regular basis, checking, you know, I mean, we definitely need to know, like, where they're located. Are they
Mhm.
located in your town? You know what I mean? Because if they're talking to somebody clear across another country, that's a different story too.
Yeah. Yeah, we have in my house, we have it a lot with my youngest because he doesn't, with his learning disability. I
Yeah.
mean, I talk to him about everything. And I'm constantly checking in because he is on and he thinks and he wants everybody to be his friend. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like if he will get on, he's like, "Oh, so and so just joined the party." I'm like, "Who is that?" Yeah, I don't know. And then you'll hear like this little kid voice, but still you don't know. And so luckily, like he's had his PlayStation in the living room. So I've been down there a lot, but you don't realize how many kids just join the party and they just want to play with other kids. They don't know. So we definitely have a conversation all the time about things that you discuss, things you don't discuss, things that, and then a lot of the time he doesn't text, so I will be looking and reading things and he doesn't even know that he gets some of the things. And so it is everything. It's Snapchat. It's
Mhm.
all the games. So I realized that I check now, like sitting here, I'm like, okay, well, I check text messages, his phone, his voicemails, Snapchat. I guess I don't check the Roblox, like noticing now as much.
Mhm.
And I will be now, especially,
Just
but
another
yeah.
thing on your list. It's
Yeah.
like never ending.
It's a
Yeah.
good point too, because that's another thing is like our children, that have like a learning disability or, they just want to make friends,
Mhm.
and they do think that somebody that says, "Hey, do you want to be my friend?" Yes, I want a friend. And,
Mhm.
or somebody that accepts that friend and are going to play a game. Yeah, I just made a friend. Yes.
Yes.
They're
Yes.
excited. And so now you've got that person on the other line, playing a game, and they're just excited because they've got someone to play a game with.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and they will add them to that, how they have the added friends, and then he can get on and play with him at any time. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what the dad who has that really helpful video mentioned in having this conversation, really hammering home like what a friend is in online and in person can be really helpful because kids are just like, yeah, you're my friend now. And then
Yeah.
when you set up these parental controls, a lot of the advice he gives is to make them friends only. And he's like, well, that doesn't matter if, everybody's your child's friend. So
Yeah.
having that, like, this is a friend, that's not a friend. Also, the mental health aspect of Roblox, of like the feeling uncomfortable, feeling, stressed about your fake job. Has there been any like mental health implications that were able to see from your child? Maybe the obsession or any sort of way that it's impacting their mental health?
I think you can see the frustration and the meltdowns and everything because if he'll give stuff and then so and so won't give exchange stuff, like they just lied to him, and so he's like, "I want to do that," and then he starts yelling. So we do have to take breaks and stuff. So I can definitely see how it is stressful and it weighs on these kids. Yeah.
That's awful.
Oh, yes. I can see it in my grandson. I mean, I can see sometimes aggression when he doesn't get to go back on it, or if it's taken away. It's like this, I just want to play the game, and it's like this I don't want to say like aggression, like almost like this monster comes out. It's like, I just want to play this game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, come on, buddy. Let's go outside for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then it's like, we're done. We're done, And it's like, come on, let's go do something else, and it's like,
Mhm.
it'll take a long time for it to kind of like die down. And I get it. It's something that he loves to do. And like you said earlier, like YouTube, he's obsessed with YouTube too. And like
Mhm.
documenting things. And I'm just like, you're 13. Like, what are you documenting? You know what I mean? But that is like his life. He loves to document and do Roblox and all this stuff. So it's like but yeah, I can see a difference in him, so, aggression, anxiety, things like that if he's not getting to play it.
Do you set any of those screen time limits? I was seeing different people talk about that. Or does that like just the whole comes out when the screen time limit gets off? Like what does that look like in your guys' house?
I see it too, but then he'll wake up in the middle of the night and you'll wake up and he'll be up at like in the middle of the night playing and everybody's sleeping. I'll be like, it's 1:00 in the morning. You're supposed to be in bed.
I unplug the router when it's time for bed. I unplug the router, and I have parental controls on the phones so that I can swipe off whatever I want to swipe off at whatever time.
Yeah,
because they will stay up all night. And then during the summer, I'm more lenient. During the school year, like you have to get up in the morning. I'm not. So I have like they can ask for more time, and sometimes I give it to them. I'm pretty easy, like as far as that stuff goes. But 10:30, hard line. No one's allowed doing anything after 10:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would stay up all night if he could.
Oh, same. My little one would be up until 4:00 in the morning if I didn't unplug the router. And they have a PlayStation in their bedroom, so I take that. I make sure that there's no Wi-Fi, so they can't play after I say it's done.
Yeah.
But that is leading into that like addiction component because they're literally staying up all night, like wanting to play this game,
And I do think maybe in our house, just patterns of behavior, the two with ADHD have a tougher time handling the hard line. The other two are just like, okay, and they'll go do whatever.
Oh yeah.
But the two, they have the hardest time with that. No, we're done. Time to be done. Kind of.
Yeah. I mean, I've taken controllers before and stuff and phones. Just turned on because he has ADHD, so it kind of like needs something, like he won't sleep. He needs that light, whatever. So I will leave stuff on, but if I won't, he's up all night and then we are battling in the morning.
Yeah. Then it's a different mental health like implication of the.
Oh yeah.
And some stress for you guys.
Yeah.
And that's school avoidance the next day.
Yeah. Just
I'm sick. I need to say
into other problems. Yeah.
All right, cool. So basically the message is that Roblox is a bit scary, but so is internet. And together parents can try and like, keep each other filled in on what's going on the app and keep talking to their kids and stuff like that. I will post the blog later this week. Like I said, it's going to have our top 5, ways to help parents help their child navigate Roblox in a safe and fun way. I will also link the video of the dad, but does anybody else have any last minute thoughts on Roblox?
I just think with the communication, just keep that open with your children. I think that's the best way to deal with things and make sure you're talking and asking them questions about everything that they're on.
I agree with that. Like, let them feel comfortable enough to come say like, hey, this is weird. Can you check it out? Like without them thinking you're automatically going to take it away. You know what I mean? I'm always like, hey, if you see something weird, it doesn't mean I'm going to make you stop playing it. Just let me know what's there so that we can figure out how to block it or whatever it is so that you can continue. So they know that they're like not going to lose something they love if they tell you something is bad is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that there's a lot of things that are being said, a lot of TikToks and stories and things like that. Like Amber and Chrissy just said, having those conversations with your kids and asking them those questions. So I heard that this is out there. Have you had that experience? And I want to know so that I don't have to take it away. Teach me, let me know what's going on because I am mom, or dad. So that it isn't going to be just taken away, because that would be hard on them just to have something be taken away if that is something that they absolutely love and want to don't want it to be taken away.
Yeah, I would have a hard time if you took like books off of me. You know what I mean?
Right,
And that's
that's
what
my
I like
thing.
to do. Or
Yeah.
word searches. Like if you were like, no more word search app for you, I would be like, okay, life is over. I'm sad.
Well, and then to be punished for just coming to you. You know what I mean? That's
Right.
not the right way. Because
Right.
then
Yeah, we don't.
they
That is a
won't
tough
come
one.
to
You can't do that, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I read a lot about that, about being approachable and like not having such a big reaction so that they approach you the next time something happens.
Absolutely. We want them to come to us. So, teach them how to do that.
Yeah.
Right. Well, thank you. This is not what I was expecting for having me. I'm not, like I said, not a usual podcast guest, but I was so happy to talk about such an important topic with these ladies. And like I said, we'll link all of our resources, like our blog and that really helpful parental control video below. But that is all we have on Roblox this week. And maybe I'll be back to talk about YouTube soon.
Well,
Thank
hopefully
you.
we'll have you back again, Peyton.
Yes.
I'll be back. Bye, everyone.
Bye.